All right, welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here, ready to continue on playing as the nation of Brazil in Hearts of Iron 4. As it has been correctly pointed out by a couple of folks commenting on some of my videos, while I've been advertising this as including the Black Ice mod, which I do have enabled, it's not working. And you know, I should have known that, but it's been a while since I played with Black Ice. Black Ice mod looks completely different than this. All these buttons are different colors. There's a whole lot more when it comes to research and production. It's a very different game. So my apologies for saying I was using Black Ice. I realized afterwards that now there are actually 3 total mods you have to enable in order for Black Ice to work. I had one of them enabled but didn't have the other 2 added, so that's why it's not working. I just have the graphics pack apparently. So my apologies, mea culpa. Let's continue on. This is a vanilla Hearts of Iron 4. And I don't know what's going to happen. It's 1942. My allies, the Axis, are hanging on for dear life somehow. So I've made this desperate gamble where I'm going to invade Mexico here shortly, just so I can get at the United States and try to open up a front there in his country, so it'll take some of the pressure off of Japan and Germany. So what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for some of my units to get up here. I'm about to start my invasion of Mexico. I'm going to go ahead and declare war. So here we go with that. Mexico, of course, will then join the Allies, and it'll merge all the wars as it has been doing. I've got to get my air units going. I think I've got another one somewhere that I need to move into that area. I don't know where they are, though. But anyway, we'll just get some air superiority going on there. Another thing I need to do with that is we're going to go ahead and pick some military high command where air is concerned. And I've still got 299 left. I'm going to add a chief of the Air Force. And we'll go ground support. Okay, so that should be good for now. Looks like some of my import requests are not being fulfilled, but I also am importing more steel than I currently need to. So we'll fix that up. Last thing I need to look at, I'm still working on some new military factories to get those in production. I got a bunch of things coming up here as far as research goes. And then moving forward, I definitely going to need to produce more tanks, more motorized, to get all those things into the field. But I think we're about to go ahead and give our general permission to launch his invasion of Mexico. We're already battling. It looks like he's attacking me, but we obviously want to turn that around as soon as we possibly can. I've got some new units that just got into the field that are going to make their way up in here. Certainly I have an issue with attrition right now because I'm so far away from my base of supply. I'm not entirely sure why it's saying that some of these divisions have no orders. It's saying I only have 6 divisions involved in this attack, so that's kind of a problem. So let's pause for a second and figure out what's going on with that. Delete all orders for the army. Sometimes this happens. It's kind of a weird thing about the mechanics of the game. And then we're going to give the order for the offensive line. Just basically for now, I just want to get past Mexico City. So how many divisions now are in that order? Alright, now we've got 64 divisions. That's what it should have been to begin with. Every so often that happens. So we're defeating him. Now we're going to turn the thing around. Hopefully we can cut these guys off up here in the Yucatan Peninsula and maybe just destroy those units before we move forward. You know what the other thing I need to do is, I think I've got more than enough convoys that I've stockpiled. I've got something like 400 convoy ships, and I'm only using about 100. So we're going to start actually producing a navy. I don't have much, so Battleship 1 is where we'll go for now. Eventually I'll do some research and get some better naval ships going. Of course, this means, once again, I need to make some changes in my trade. Is there anybody I can trade with? Japan, maybe. It might be a little easier to trade with them. We're going to need some chromium as well. Probably get that from Cuba fairly easily. Still need a little steel. There's nobody in South America I can get steel from at the moment. Alright, so that gives me everything I need. A lot of things up here I don't really need to see. Let's just kind of get rid of some of this stuff. Alright, so we're going to start moving on Mexico here. It's going to take a little while to kind of get this going, but once I break through, obviously I should make a pretty quick run on Mexico City. I just want to make sure that nothing's happening, no allies are trying to land right now and give me any problems there. Looks like Germany's continuing to push back into the Soviet Union. I had some questions, people asking why. Why did Germany suddenly turn the tide? I have no idea. I don't know if any of the allies ran out of manpower or what happened. Before I drop out here while nothing's happening, just look real quick. In this current war, which is going basically a stalemate, losses are almost 10 million on my side. Germany themselves have lost 5.5 million. That doesn't even count what's been lost in their war against the Soviets, which is a completely separate war. But we'll take a look at that one real quick. I guess it won't let me see that. So, obviously you can see Italy's lost 1.5 million. I've lost 83,000, but that's going to go up now that I'm getting into Mexico. I want to look real quick at the United States. They've lost 753,000. Now, I don't know if casualties, if we can assume that's killed and wounded, because that would make more sense. Obviously, I think the United States had something in the neighborhood of 400,000 to 500,000 killed during the war, but obviously with wounded it was much higher than that. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Navy. I'm going to start working on a Navy a little bit here. We'll start with battleships. So I'll produce my first battleship and I'll immediately switch over to Battleship 2 after that. Alright, so I don't think there's anything else much happening here for quite a while. We got 12 days still artillery upgrade. So we'll drop out and come back in as conditions warrant. Alright, so we've got a couple things I want to point out here. One is I just finished Improved Artillery Upgrade 1. So we're going to go ahead and go in, and I'm going to focus on Navy for just a little while I'm waiting on time to tick by so I can work on some other things. So we'll go Heavy Cruiser 1. And next thing coming up is Direct Ground Support, which is another ground... it's an air doctrine. I have surrounded a couple of the units here in Mexico, and I'm about to cut those off and destroy those. So once that happens and I get those units out of there and I can focus my whole thing, I should move fairly quickly on Mexico City. I want to point out I have some notifications of some naval invasions happening. However, I don't really see those troops, and I think the reason being is that my allies, Nationalist Spain, Japan, folks like, see, there's 10 Nationalist Spain divisions there. Even folks like, who's this here? Venezuela are basically successfully defending in those areas, so I don't really have to worry about it right now. But we'll keep an eye on that just to make sure that nothing gets landed, and I may need to go ahead and create a second army where I can have some garrison units in place. So I'll work on that and get that ready, and then we'll get focused on cutting off and destroying a couple of these divisions and moving forward on Mexico City. Alright, so we're about to destroy this. Yeah, we just destroyed that pocket of resistance there. So now he's got 8 divisions up here in the Yucatan Peninsula. Italy wants to call our help with... Oh yeah, I'm not ready to go to war with the communists just yet. You guys can handle that one by yourselves. I did create a garrison army that is basically responsible for the northern coast as well as Panama. So I've given them orders to defend the coastline in those areas. So I've got 11 divisions that I've put into that so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at things over in Europe. Germany, things still kind of stable in the west, but not advancing any further. It looks like Italy might be making a little headway there. And about the same over on the east either. So it's basically pretty much a stalemate. So I'm hoping that maybe once I get up into the place where I can invade the United States, that'll help kind of break that stalemate a little bit. But listen, I'm a realist. I recognize long term that the way things are going right now for the Axis, it's not looking good for me. But I'm having fun, and hopefully it's entertaining for you to kind of see how this all plays out. Okay, so I just got a notification, dangerous naval invasion. and that's the United States right here. I think he finally gets it. And you can see right now, I'm going to pause for just a second because the U.S. has landed on my northern coast in Suriname. So we're immediately going to have to deal with this. I'm going to go ahead and start shifting some additional resources over there to help with that. A couple armored divisions because I can get them there a little quicker. And we've got to focus on things a little bit more here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel the garrison order that I had given these guys and change it to an order where they're here to fight what's happening down here in the United States. Yeah, no garrison order. Okay. I want you all right here. Come on, guys. There we go. Okay. So we're going to rush as many units as I can over here to try and push that invasion back. I knew at some point that would probably happen, but I guess the United States finally figured out that I was going to be a threat on the southern border, so they had to do something about it. So we'll have to keep an eye on that while the Mexican invasion continues. And obviously now my casualties are going to start going up. I'm already up to 117,000. So I've lost more in the last week than I had the entire war up to this point. It's going to get serious now. But I've got manpower. I've got over 3 million. And I can make some changes to conscription laws when I need to. And I can make that go up even more. So we got to get up here and stem the tide of this invasion, though. And it's going to take a while because this is not exactly an area that it's easy to move quickly. So we'll try and cut off the divisions that are up here in the Yucatan Peninsula, destroy them, then I can free up these divisions to move over here to help with the push toward Mexico City. In the meantime, we'll keep an eye on things here. All right, so I just finished up a national focus, and I switched over from rocket effort to nuclear effort now. I also have direct ground support finished up so I can do another research. And a Lend-Lease program coming from Japan. Not a lot, but every little bit helps. So let's go ahead with... we want to generate some aces, so we'll go with that one. We'll take a look here. We're slowly getting these divisions moved over here, but it's going to take a while, especially with some of these. So let's just take a look at any one of these in February, especially. I just want to see how long it's going to take them to get where they're going. It's not really telling me. I know there's a way to do that. Oh, there we go. Will arrive when? 92 days? It's going to take 92 days to get there? Ugh, this is killing me. All right, we need to continue to work on our infrastructure a little bit because that's just unacceptable. To take that long for movement. Where's construction? It's not like it's terrible. It's 3. Alright. So we'll get that going. I'm going to cancel some of these additional military factories, at least for the time being. Work on infrastructure a little bit. Got a dangerous naval invasion. Okay, and the United States has taken Panama back, so that's obviously a big issue. So the U.S. is starting to get wise to my plans here, and they have decided to make things a little more difficult for me. So we're going to have to free up another army. I'm going to switch some things around. I'll come back once I've done that. Okay, so it's the end of February. We are slowly getting an army into position to surround and bottle up this beachhead that the Americans have, this one little territory here. And I'm going to get them surrounded and keep them from doing any more than that. In the meantime, there's some battles going on up here in the north. Things look secure there for the time being. And I have formed a third army with 19 divisions at the moment that I'm going to start getting into place here so I can take Panama back from the Americans. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, we've pushed the Mexicans to the brink on the edge of the Yucatan Peninsula. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of there, and then we'll be able to march on Mexico City. I'm getting close there. Just to show you how things are shaping up now, though, as far as my army goes. Oh, National Spain's making a comeback a little bit there. I've lost 139,000 now. United States is pretty static as far as how many they've lost. Let's go take a quick look at Europe. So again, not much has changed. It's still pretty much the same. Okay, the Reich, German Reich wants me to come in. No, I'm not coming in in the war against the Soviets right now. So, field of manpower 10 million. They've got between 5 and 7, somewhere in there. We've lost twice as many. Not a lot has changed in that department. All right, so I jumped back in because it looks like I'm already making good progress, even before most of my army gets down here, toward being able to deal with Panama. And likewise, even without my entire force being in position here, I may have enough to squeeze the Allies back off of my coast. So we'll tell them to go ahead and go when it seems prudent to do so. In the meantime, it's telling me 48 days, even though I've got 11 divisions on one there in Panama. It looks like most of his divisions are back in the second area there. So we'll see how that goes. Again, things are looking pretty good up in here. Another 5 days. They're suggesting that I should have the Yucatan Peninsula cleared. That'll help me with my move on Mexico City. I want to see how close Mexico is. Obviously, Mexico City's big points for them. So they've only got somewhere between 33 and 56 divisions. Of course, I only have 76. Alright, so things have stabilized a little bit. I'm feeling a little more optimistic than I did even a few minutes ago. Cleared the Yucatan Peninsula. We can move these armies down now and make the final push toward Mexico City. I have also completed a new land doctrine, so we are almost to the end of this tree. Still having a little trouble being able to get steel from the Soviet Union. That's just the reality of the war at the moment. Trade's not a real good thing for me with the issues I have with the naval combat. That's why I'm trying to build a navy. Alright, let's see what's happening down here. It's the middle of March now. We're slowly making our way. Another 25 days, it's saying, to move into Panama. Things not going quite as well here. But I got a lot more units that are on their way, and that'll start turning the tide on that. Let's see if anybody else is in a position to... I rushed a bunch of units into the field before they were ready, just because I needed them desperately. And the nice thing is a lot of these, where they're entering the field is right by where things are happening here. So it's that army. So I need to assign those units to this central army here. That's 6 more divisions. And we're going to order them all to move in on the Allies here. I do have some others down here. We'll assign them to my main force. Alright, we're getting close to Mexico City. Obviously, these invasions have put a kind of a cramp in my plans to overrun Mexico quickly so I could push on the United States, but we are going to get there. Only 8 divisions are currently in combat here. I'm going to reset these orders. There we go. It's a little better now. Alright. Just real quick, going to look again at the casualty situations. I'm up pushing 200,000 now, but I've got 85 divisions in the field, which gives me, in terms of the Axis powers, puts me right up there with Spain just about. and even ahead of Italy. Italy's only got 62 divisions right now. On the Allied side, United Kingdom, United States really are the only two that have large numbers of divisions at the moment. And things continue to be about the same. Germany's continuing to kind of hold their own on both sides. Looks like maybe some of France is going back towards my side. I don't know. Okay, still here in March. It's March 29th, and good news indeed. About to squeeze the Allies off of my northern shore. It's going to happen any second now. And then we can kind of decide how we want to play this. I may just hold those divisions there for the time being. Shift some of them over to help with Panama. It's just a matter now of moving in, it looks like, because he's gone. So we'll basically hold those 18 divisions as a garrison force for now, I think. Things moving at kind of a crawl now, the sim speed. Just that's the nature of this game, unfortunately. Looking to see how long it's going to be, but it's just really a matter of time before we move in. We'll switch that to a garrison force. We'll focus here on squeezing him out of Panama. And I'm on the doorstep of Mexico City. All right, we're into April. Fighter Ace Initiative research is finished. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick again at what's going on here. We actually have one experimental rockets. We're going to go ahead and do that research because I get a 50% reduction in how long it takes. And so I'm a little bit ahead on time, but that 50% helps with that. So I did move in a little bit in Panama. We're pressing ahead there. Obviously, things have stabilized on my northern coast. And now it's just a matter of getting enough troops up in here to finish off Mexico. We've got some more of his units surrounded, so we'll destroy those divisions here very soon. Let's look at numbers again for just a second. I have now lost how many? 215,000. Let's see what Mexico. United States is pushing 1 million. They're up to almost 900,000. And Mexico's lost almost 200,000 themselves. So, just a matter of time for Mexico. Now that I've been able to stabilize some of these other regions, I'll be able to move a little quicker on them. We've got Panama contained, but I really need to get the canal back. So, we'll work on that. Europe, again, nothing much has changed. Germany is just continuing to take some of its territories back. Let's see what's happening over here on the eastern side. Japan's got a nice little chunk of the Soviet Union for themselves. Not sure how much it's worth, but... And it looks like they still hold Honolulu. China is occupying Oahu, the island of Oahu there. All right. Things are looking good. Just got to finish squeezing these guys out here. I'm going to try to tell some of these units to join in this attack. Yugoslavia has capitulated. Peter II announced that the Yugoslavian nation can no longer withstand the pressure from the occupying Romanian forces. So the war against the Romanian People's Republic and the rest of the Comintern continues. This is an unfortunate setback for the Axis. So that was one of my team that just went down. They fell to the Comintern. So the final push is on both in Mexico City, which is going to fall in less than a week, as well as in Panama, where the canal is about a week away from falling to my forces. That's definitely going to help things. So we stem the tide. The United States attempt to open up a second front in my war it has failed. We're about to take Mexico City. There's nuclear effort. We are slowly but surely working our way toward becoming a nuclear power. I'm running out of really many options of things that I need to do. So we're going to focus on naval effort now, since I am slowly working on building up a navy. And let's see where we're at. Mexico City now, 4 days. And also, the war has taken a turn for the better. Even though Yugoslavia fell, you can see things are now saying that 17% in my favor. It's about as high as it's ever really gotten in favor of the Axis. It hasn't tilted too much farther than that in my favor. So let's take a look here. Now we're at 94% Mexico City, 98%. Panama is going to fall any day now. Once it does, I'll hold a couple of those units back here as a garrison, and we're going to shove the rest up here to get back into the action against Mexico. Okay, so Bulgaria has fallen. That's another Axis power. Again, it doesn't seem like that big a deal. I did take Panama. We're about to march on Mexico City. I'm just working on some trade issues here that I've got to just kind of iron out. Mostly in that I'm not getting enough steel, which has been kind of an ongoing problem for me. We'll try to trade for some from Germany. We don't need that much. Did Mexico City fall? I believe it did. All right. So now we got to just continue to push north. Let's see how much more Mexico's got. Monterrey is the new capital. And Mexico is how far along toward capitulation? All right, so it looks like we're going to have to take Monterrey to finish these guys off, because they're not quite there yet. They've lost 300,000 men now. The war continues to be, it's only 14% in my favor now, probably because of Bulgaria falling. So, boy, the Soviets have really done a number pushing through southeastern Europe. So where they couldn't push through to finish off the Germans up here, they went through this way instead. So it's still not looking great for Germany over there. But I can't control that. All I can control is what I can do down here. And we're slowly getting the rest of our divisions back up to be able to push towards Mexico's new capital. I'm going to have to give new orders. It's kind of hard to see because I'm a green country and so is Mexico on the map. It makes things a little challenging. Slovakia has capitulated, so every one of them, it's giving credit to the Romanians. Okay, so I'm getting some more air power moved up here. Got a much more of a stable front line now, and I have just finished researching the new battleships, so I've got to now focus on some lighter ships, which we aren't producing yet, but we will. I now need to upgrade what I'm currently producing, change it to a battleship 2. Yeah, I know I'm going to lose 108 days of production. All right, and there's Field Hospital 1, which I'm going to have to start putting some field hospitals in my units. That's certainly going to be helpful moving forward. We're going to research maintenance company. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick at our divisions for a second. Infantry divisions, we'll start with them. Let's get field hospitals going. It's going to help with trickle back. It's going to help with experience loss, with hit points, with reliability. So those are all helpful things moving forward here. So let's go ahead and get those in there. We'll put field hospitals in all of our units, I think. Yeah. All right. So that'll certainly help. Still got some unfulfilled import requests. Insufficient resources. Need more steel. Just not being able to get the steel I need from anybody. Looks like I can get a little bit from Chile, not much. But every little bit helps at this point. Continuing our northern push toward Monterrey, we'll probably take it to Mexico's capitulation in this episode. And then next episode we'll be poised to invade mainland United States. The war continues to be 14% in my favor. Mexico's only got 9 factories left. Axis has now lost 11 million. We've lost more than we have in the field at this point. Allies are in the same boat though. U.S. is just about 1 million casualties, so is the U.K. And I doubt much has changed. Things are still just pretty static. It's a lot like World War I, really. As I'm looking things over, I am starting to believe that just as I am seeing my greatest success of the war, I've turned back invasions by the United States, I'm moving towards taking Mexico, and I'm going to be right on the verge of invading the United States, probably in time to watch Germany fall once and for all. I think things are turning back against them. It doesn't necessarily look like it, but casualties have mounted quite a bit since the last time I looked at it, and it just looks like they're starting to fall again. You can see they're starting to lose some of their victory points that they had gained back. The Allied manpower in the field continues to be staying pretty steady where it is. And here we have the Soviet-German war. You can see the Soviets have lost 7.5 million men, but they can handle that. What they don't have is a lot of fielded manpower left. They've only got 2 million left in the field, which I find kind of interesting. So maybe the Soviet Union runs out first. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like maybe things are turning against the Soviets again. So we'll see. But I've got some free dockyards that I've got to deal with. I'm going to slow down on my production of battleships and work on some destroyers as well. And obviously I don't have the steel in either situation. We're going to continue down. We're going to go flexible Navy. We're not going to have a large Navy. That's just not who I am or who I can even be. But moving along quite nicely here in Mexico. Probably still a couple of months away from being able to push up to Monterrey and finish the Mexicans off. But I very soon will be on the verge of being able to move into southern Texas and finally start putting a little bit, hopefully, of pressure on the United States. I just fear it's too little too late. Well then, we made a serious breakthrough. We've taken Monterrey a little faster than I expected, pushed all the way up to the Rio Grande, ready to move into the United States. They've now moved their capital to Chihuahua, and I still have not taken quite enough to be able to finish them off. So once again, I'm going to have to issue some new orders. But the good news is we are now able to seriously consider about moving into the southern United States. We're going to go after Houston, Dallas. It'll be nice. This will be the first time ever in this game that I've actually taken an Axis army into the mainland United States. So, kind of cool. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add these fresh divisions that just got into the field. We'll go ahead and add them to the garrison that I have down here in the southern part. Oh, we got some new divisions down here too. There we go. Okay, so here's an American army. We have moved into southern Texas. Nice. Pretty excited about that. So we'll move our way over here, try to solidify things. If I can finally get Mexico out of the war, we'll call it a day for this episode, because I know I've done quite a bit already. Okay, so let's see what's happened here. Seeing a joint victory against the German Reich is inevitable, the United Kingdom and the Soviet Union are looking to secure future stability in Europe. Winston Churchill, Joseph Stalin, and leaders for other countries participating in the war effort have met to agree on the fate of the German Reich. Days of negotiations have led to the drawing of a new map of Europe. This new European order is divided between the East and the West by the wound about to be carved through the middle of the German Reich. So this is the, I guess, I don't know if this would be the Potsdam Conference. I know they had those conferences where they met to discuss all of those things. There were several of them. They met once in Tehran. I know once Roosevelt had died, the meeting with Harry Truman took place, where that was where Truman kind of filled Stalin in on what was happening with the atomic bomb. So Germany's kind of on their last legs. Meanwhile, so is Mexico, and we are slowly moving into the southern part of the United States. Here's something interesting I want to point out. I now have 118 factories, which puts me really close to having the most among the Axis powers. Obviously, there's way more in the United States, so hopefully I can start taking a bite out of their industrial power as I move into the southern part of the country. I'm going to mostly kind of move east, head for the capital if I can. I don't know how easily I'll be able to do that, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I think we're finally just about there. We're moving in on Chihuahua. That should be the final nail in the coffin to get Mexico out of the war. And then we can focus solely on the United States. We're at 94%. It's estimating less than a day. So Chihuahua's about to fall. Let's go ahead and just watch as that happens. And we'll declare victory over the Mexicans. And we've already taken a nice chunk. I think I've got Houston. It's probably Houston right here. We're going to move up on Dallas and Fort Worth. This might be Houston over here, actually. And we'll slowly take Texas. We'll move in on Louisiana, and we'll be on our way. Come on. All right, Chihuahua's there. How's Mexico not capitulated? That has to be enough. Yeah, it has. It just... Oh, 99%? Really? Oh, boy. Okay, where's their capital now? Maybe? Yes? No? They don't even have another capital, so that's got to be it. Maybe they're just waiting for the next day. Maybe? Yes? No? Alright, we'll come back if Mexico capitulates. Alright, there's experimental rockets. We also got the latest... We're on to submarine effort for national focus. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. Mexico's done. I don't know why they haven't capitulated, but I've almost conquered their entire territory. They haven't even moved their capital. So we're into the United States, and that'll be the focus of the next episode, is just how far can we push this into the United States before things just turn against us if and when Germany falls. So research. All right, let's go with atomic research, the second one here. All right, so hopefully by the time we have a lot of pressure from the other allies on us, we will be at a place that we've got nukes, and that'll help even the odds. So we'll see what happens. As always, I welcome your comments, your questions, your observations, your input. I'll try to do one of these episodes every couple of days until we are done with this campaign. Thanks for watching. If you'd hit that thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.